Hello, I want to give you some feedback on the latest change management case study task, the one where you had to advise a school how to go from on-campus to online delivery. I think you would have done a better job if you had watched the feedback video for Carl's Car Wash change management, because that explained the stages. And I think if you know the stages, then it helps you to contextualize what you need to do, what suggestions you need to make in order to manage change across the 8 steps. Now, some students did very well. They had some relevant examples and they clearly understood the task. A lot of students, it's very clear that you have been looking at other case studies and understanding what's happening, so that's good for a lot of people. And everyone gave it a good go and everyone had plenty to say, but it wasn't always targeted enough, specific enough, or sometimes accurate enough. So I just want to go back over the stages, and I want to focus a little bit on the examples, because this was the biggest weakness across everybody. Even people who did well overall in the task did not always hit the mark when giving examples of what they would do. A lot of people weren't specific enough. Remember in IELTS, remember in academic writing, we're always saying, don't just write for example and then explain something, because that is not an example. An example is an illustration. So let's go back to the stages, stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. That's explained in the Carl's Car Wash feedback video, but it could stand repeating. So what I've done, I'm just going to scroll down, excuse me. Okay, red, amber, green, okay? Traffic lights. Think of traffic lights. Think of stage 1 as red. Stop. Stop everything. We're not doing it like this anymore. Everything's going to change. So stop. Okay? Amber, the second stage. Get ready. Let's prepare. Let's get ready for the new way of doing things. This is what we're going to introduce. This is what we're going to do. Get ready. And then finally, green. Green means go. We've got a new way of doing things. This is the new normal. Go. Don't look back. So I am going to focus on the examples, because that was the weakest part of nearly everybody's task. So I've highlighted red for stage 1, amber for stage 2, and green for stage 3. But the actual concrete examples, the illustrations, I've left in black so that they stand out, okay? So the first example was send an email. A very simple thing, send an email. For Guiding Coalition and Develop a Vision, so steps 2 and 3. The Guiding Coalition, create a management team that includes representatives from various parts. One of the important things about a guided coalition is the people in the coalition need to have some kind of authority or respect from their colleagues or subordinates. So popular or influential people are good to have in the guided coalition. Developing a strategy. The manager advises that you take advice from the heads of administration, the heads of academic departments, and the head of student council representative. So this is a concrete example of what you can do. Talk to people, get advice. Now we're moving into the amber stage. Get ready, okay? We're going to spread the word. We're going to communicate the vision. So post videos of the CEO giving an inspirational talk. Post videos of other people saying what they will be doing, how they're going to adapt to the new situation. So this is a very simple example. post videos, okay? But it's specifically stated, and that's one way to communicate the vision. Now, this one, removing obstacles and empower action, everyone knew about this and everyone has something to say about it, but very few people actually gave examples. So you could identify what the obstacle was, but you didn't give an example of how to overcome the obstacle or how to empower people to do the job. So here the concrete examples that are in black are: give people laptops, form a WhatsApp group, get a professional online platform for everyone to use, make somebody the go-to person for questions and answers. So there's several options there, all listed as concrete examples of what you can do to remove obstacles and empower action. Then short-term wins. I think a lot of people did come up with some examples for this. Treat the lecturers to a dinner. Give the students extra points on their tests. Yep, okay, I mean, it's an example, right? So what I thought would be quite good, and some of you also use these examples, was acknowledging people's work. Actually, publicly acknowledging what people do is always rewarding. People like that as much as a free dinner. Being recognized is good. For the students, perhaps, make the quizzes more fun so that they're easier to participate in, and don't just reward content knowledge, but reward participation, reward effort. So these are things that people are doing anyway, and reward it, create a good feeling. And the administrators, acknowledge the administrators' work publicly, because a lot of what they do is behind the scenes and no one sees it at all. So this brings us to stage 3, go. Right, so green light, that means this is the new normal. This is what we're doing now. And the example that I've given for a new normal is to change the schedule. So at the moment, our timetable is based on classrooms, classroom names. Building on the change that we have made, we should formalize it by having a timetable that recognizes the online nature of our work. And then the 8th and final step is incorporating the change. Now there is a bit of a blurry line here, isn't there, between incorporating the change and building on the change. Building on the change means adding more things. Incorporating means making it an intrinsic part of your business model. So the example that I thought of here was creating a permanent distance learning module to use even after the MCO has been ended. I hope you have found this useful. I'm trying to keep it under 10 minutes. The last one was a bit over 10 minutes, and I think that puts people off watching. But here's a tip, right? When you're watching YouTube videos, if they're taking a long time to get to the point or to what you want to hear, you can hover your cursor over the settings tab at the bottom. When you hover your cursor on the screen, a menu will pop up along the bottom of the screen, and you go to settings, and one of the options is playback speed. If you click on that, it's like normal speed, but you can speed it up or slow it down. If you go to 1.25 or 1.5 increase, it's a bit faster, but it's not too crazy. You can still get it, and then when it gets to the part that you're interested in, you can slow it back down again. All right, thank you very much. Don't forget to keep using the Google Docs. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comment section of the YouTube video. All right, thank you. Have a good weekend, and see you bright and early all on Monday or Tuesday, depending what day your class runs. All right, bye-bye.